financial planning. And he's going to enlighten you and let you all know why we're so happy. Hit it, John. After you remember that recorded button, you got to hit that button.
Yeah, Sticky was off a long time ago.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, is that why this intro?
No.
Okay, you didn't know.
I didn't.
The boom in digital currencies is set to continue. Listen, that's fantastic. This is what I've been saying for a while, that it's taken over. This is not going to slow down by any bit. And Bitcoin is the granddaddy of them all, and it's the only one that has the limited coin nature. And that's one of the reasons why it's going to be in such demand. And in demand it is. I don't care what they say about the pricing. I don't care what they're doing. The long-term future for Bitcoin is way ahead of the others in terms of scarcity. Scarcity is what creates value, and that's why people are going to want to hold Bitcoin. So make sure that you stay here, learn, get going, and get as much Bitcoin as you can while you still can, because at some point it's going to be, kind of pricey to get it, and you have difficulty getting it. All right, so let's get the old presentation going here. Where's my button? Oh, it'd be better if I positioned it properly. I could see it. So we're going to talk about Gladiacoin. Gladiacoin is the thing that makes all this stuff possible that we're going to talk about. Because as we all well know, Bitcoin came out of the ether, came out a long time ago, 2008, which is kind of ancient history right now. It doesn't seem that far back to me, but it is kind of a while. And in 2009, the first transaction occurred. Those pizzas were bought, they were delivered, somebody ate them, and the rest is history. And we're watching history develop right in front of our face. Now, the value of a Bitcoin was very, very low for a long time. In 2010, it was still only a dime. 2016, it starts climbing rapidly, and now it's well over $1,000 now in terms of USD conversion value, because remember, Bitcoin is not money. And we have a number of court cases right now where judges have clearly stated that it is not money. And so that's good news to my ears, because I don't want to be dealing with any kind of money that these people are talking about. And these are the guys that deal with the money that they're talking about. Capital One, USA, Visa, PayPal, MasterCard, American Express, MoneyGram, all those guys. They may have invested in it, but I don't think they invested in it for the benefit of Bitcoin. I think they more invested in it because they wanted to get access to it. They wanted to find out what it was going to be. Could they control it? Can they make money on the deal? And that's all they really cared about. They really didn't think much about, I don't think, the fact that we would no longer need them. Because Bitcoin in and of itself can transfer value from point A to point B in less than a second with no hassles, no 5-day waits, no approvals, no medallion signatures. If you want to transfer that value to someplace on the earth, you can do it just as quick as it can get there, which is super fast. Now, in order to deal with that, you got to have an e-wallet. E-wallets are the same thing that you use in the bank all the time. When you go check your balances, you're going to a website and you're going to your account. But you think of it as going to your account. You don't really think of it as going to an e-wallet. But that's what it is. And Bitcoin is no different. Bitcoin has its own e-wallets because the regular ones won't work because they're not the same animal at all. Bitcoin is the perfect plan B. It's got a B on it. Its name starts with B, so it's got to be the plan B. Plan B lets us control our financial futures because we can acquire Bitcoin and we can use it to transfer value from us to somebody else, or we can receive value. We can either accept it as Bitcoin, or we can actually convert it into other things and use those things to for receiving value. Now, blockchain is the largest of those e-wallets in terms of the number of users. Coinbase is second, and then Local Bitcoins is not a e-wallet at all. It is a peer-to-peer sharing platform where buyers and sellers advertise that they're willing to either buy or sell Bitcoin, and that's probably, I think, one of the best places to acquire it. It just depends on how much you need and what kind of deal you can strike over there. Because sometimes there are BTM machines. Those are ATM machines that deal in Bitcoin. You can find those too, and you can find those at Local Bitcoins, or you can just Google, Bitcoin ATMs near me. Zappo, Copay, and BitPay actually are e-wallets, but they offer us some special features that others don't. And one of them happens to be a debit card. And if you have an account with them, you can actually transfer some of your coins to that account, and you can then use your debit card to use them just like any other debit card anywhere you go. But you can also get gift cards too. The hardware wallet over there is the safe, piece of hardware. It's a piece of equipment. Well, but it's not as big as a safe. They're called KeepKey and Trezor, and they are USB tools. They plug into the computer, and you can transfer your Bitcoins from the internet, from your e-wallet, and put them into the little USB tool. Now you've got a hardware e-wallet, and you can put that in a safe if you want to. So then you would be double safe. But you see, once you've removed those Bitcoin tokens from the ability for people to either hack into an account or some kind of a mistake and expose all your data, you're very safe, more secure than down at a local bank. See, because the local bank controls your access to stuff that you have in the safe. You got to sign in, you got to get permission, and in 1933, it was real strange. A lot of people had gold in their safety deposit boxes, but then when they came back, there wasn't any gold in there, there was fiat in there, and that was really quite shocking. Bitcoin here can be used for anything almost that you need. People take it now. There's no need to convert it. You can go online. You can check on websites to find out, whatever you want to buy. Maybe you need a new car. There's people that will take Bitcoin to pay for a car. Pretty neat. The guy here is using his cell phone, and that's where I think it's going to go. I don't think it's going to be cards as much as it's going to be the cell phone that you use to transmit the Bitcoin from your e-wallet over to pay for something on it. In this case, he's buying a cup of coffee. Okay. Now, you can also, for things that aren't readily available, the merchants aren't taking them, you can always get gift cards. Bitcoin is taken for gift cards at all these companies right there, and there's many more that actually do that too. So what is Gladiacoin doing for us? Well, it's helping us to acquire Bitcoin that we could not acquire otherwise, because here we're working as a team with some traders who are helping us get Bitcoin. I could not have acquired the level of Bitcoin that we have received if I had to do this on my own and come out of my pocket. I simply don't have enough of these little fiat things in order to start exchanging them for $1,100 or so for a Bitcoin. That's what people are asking for the buy-in. Some of them are asking even higher. And we do know that it's going to go to a very, very high point, because if you put 1% of the assets in the United States in Bitcoin, those coins are over $1 million already. It's just huge. And when you get the rest of the earth coming after them, what's it going to be when that 1% of the earth gets transferred in there? It's probably going to be a lot more than that. It's certainly going to be past gold, and I think it really is going to be a storehouse of value that far exceeds the gold's ability to do the same. But what do they do to get this? They trade. Forex trading is where you trade against currencies, like euro, Canadian dollar, Aussie dollar, Japan, yen. And there's very, very little spread between those values, but the computers are very quick, and anytime they spot a profit, they take it. They grab it right there. It doesn't matter what it is. They just grab it. And then they get reset, and they get back online. And so the same thing is done here, except the thing about Bitcoin pricing is that there's high volatility. So that means that it's changing price a lot. And it changes it up and down and up and down and up and down. I've seen it go as much as $200 in a day. Well, that's major moves. You can make a ton of money off that kind of stuff. And I mean Bitcoin, because we're not dealing with money here, and I keep slipping up. I keep working at it. You just got to be careful, because if you start calling it dollars, then some of these little three-letter agencies will start knocking on your door wanting to know where their cut of your dollars are. So I'm very happy to keep it into Bitcoin and not realize anything, especially trading it for USD. Now, the reason this all works is because of the cryptocurrency exchanges. These are miners, these are other people that do processing and stuff for the system, and they're located in different countries in different environments. So you can have a difference very much in value on an arbitrage basis. An example of that, the biggest one I've ever seen, is where we could buy a Bitcoin here for around $700-800 a few months ago, and we could sell it over in China for approximately $1,000. That's a pretty good spread. I'll take that all day long, every day. Here are the benefits. What are they saying? Gladiacoin is saying that if you give them Bitcoin, they will double the amount in 90 days. Okay, very simple, straightforward, plain statement. But you don't have to do much. You can kind of have none to no involvement or little involvement if you want to. That's pretty cool. A lot of places don't do that. The full automation, it is a computer. Everything that's done over there, there's nobody sitting over there waiting for your phone call. You say you can't call it up and say, hi, how you guys doing? Things like that. Now, the neat thing about the automation is that everything gets done just like clockwork. You do not have to ask anybody for money. They don't leave any money in the company. It's all paid out daily into your personal e-wallets. And that to me is just dynamite. But it's still plan B, okay? We need a way to develop an economy on our own because the bankers and the powers that be seem intent on crashing this economy. They're running it into the ground. Pensions are failing. People are losing jobs all over the place to robots and blockchain technology. And it's not going to slow down. It's going to accelerate. But the neat thing, we've already talked about Bitcoin being an international presence before. You know, Bitcoin here is the same as a Bitcoin in Australia or some other place. Unless there's strife and stuff and they really need to acquire Bitcoin, and then they're going to be willing to pay a lot more for it. That's what happened in China. They were over there devaluing the yuan, and people didn't like it, and they wanted to protect the value of their currency. And so they would move their Bitcoin out of the country someplace else where it wouldn't be affected by what was going on at that moment. And it's temporary. Everybody will be back in time sooner or later. It's easy to use. It runs on mobile phones, it runs on PCs, and it runs on tablets. But there's 2.5 billion people that are not banked in the world. They don't have any means of commerce. Well, mobile phones work just fine on this system. Though there is no mobile phone app for Gladio Coin, there certainly is. It runs just fine. You don't need any kind of application. And if you find one out there, don't use it because you don't know what kind of information they're acquiring. Just to stay safe, you shouldn't use any unauthorized application. The other things, the exchanges all have mobile apps that you can use, and it makes really easy work of using the system because anywhere you are, you can use it. Now, the optional binary network is really what makes this thing sing pretty good. You have couple ways that you generate Bitcoin. Two different ways. One is passively. One is where you donate the Bitcoin to the Gladio Coin company. And essentially what you're doing is you're hiring the trader. Now, there's 7 different traders that you can hire, and they range in pricing based upon the relative value that they present to you and back to you. So what you want to do is, if you're passive, you can only double 4 times a year. That's every 90 days, right? So you put in 4 Bitcoin today, 90 days later, you get 8 Bitcoin. That turns into 16, that turns into 32, then 64. But if you actually use a referral system to let other people know that there's a way for them to participate in this program, they're going to love you for it. But plus that, you get a referral fee. It's not like a bank. It's not like an insurance company. You refer somebody over there, you get nothing. Here, you actually can refer people, and they will actually thank you for the business by giving you a referral fee, which is fantastic because that comes in the form of Bitcoin and is put into your account. Now, that helps you double faster. There are people right now that are doubling every single day. They put in 4 Bitcoin today, tomorrow they get 8 Bitcoin, just that fast. And they renew their account again, and they do the same thing over and over and over. So why would you just sit around and double 4 times a year when you can actually double 365 times a year? You think that would get you more Bitcoin? I do. And that's why I'm working hard to do that. Now, we're going to talk about the binary here because in order to do that, you've got to understand a couple things about it and the way we think you should get going. So you want to take the top position. You open up a binary. You've got to, the requirement to open the binary is accomplished by referring one person on your personal referral on your left and a personal referral on your right. Okay, why should you do that? It could be anybody, but we think these people should be you, because it's going to benefit you in the long run. So what happens is that you're here and you have to build a left team and a right team to accomplish the binary in order to get referral funds underneath you. What you want to accomplish is about 50 Bitcoin coming in every day, which you would get 15% of that, which would force a cycle every day. So once you have this thing cycling every single day, you go down to one of these other positions. In this case, we'll go over here on the right. You've already built that leg that's causing you to cycle already every single day. And on the other side, you've done the same. You've built that leg. So now this position has half of its job done in order to get it cycling 8 Bitcoin a day. All you have to do now is refer some people and put them on the inside here, and you will be generating another 8 Bitcoin over here. When that's done, then you go over here to the next one, you work on that one, and get that one pumping 8 Bitcoin a day. That's 24 Bitcoin a day coming to you, possibly. So do the math. Right now, I think the pricing on USD, if you wanted to exchange some of your Bitcoin or convert some of your Bitcoin to USD, I think you could get 1150 or 1175, something like that. Just do the math, 24 Bitcoin a day. Do you think that that might have an effect on your financial future? Do you think that would have an effect on your security? Do you think that would protect you from the loss of a pension? If you don't have one, do you think you'd be able to build yourself a good retirement plan with it? You know, there's just a lot of benefits for doing this stuff, especially right now, because the pricing in Bitcoin in terms of the amount that it takes for us to acquire Bitcoin, once we get started, we've got the trader to help us, right? That's the team approach. If we're trying to do it all on our own, none of us can afford to do it. So if you take a look at 50 people that join, 50 people renew their contracts, they all double their Bitcoin, but they renew for a specific reason. The reason is that they pay every day. You've got to be in position. You know, once you've got these 3 positions pumping out 8 Bitcoin a day, you might say, whew, I'm kind of tired, man, I want a vacation. Well, you want to take your computer with you because you're going to be cycling on a regular basis. And every time you get close to a cycle point, you want to make sure that you're available and ready to renew, make a new purchase to renew your contract. Now, every time somebody in your line does the same thing down below you, they're going to generate more points, which is going to help you continue to cycle every day. Now, you know what? You just don't want to get away from it because you've got to be in position in order to get paid the Bitcoin. If you step out of here, your account gets locked, you know, if you don't renew. And then all the value that's there just flows up for a temporary time. And you've got to get back and make sure that thing is renewed as fast as possible. Otherwise, you're going to lose everything. It'll all be flushed, and you won't have anything. So they can't reinsert you later, right? If you're not there now, you got to stay there. So what's the answer? You have somebody. You hire somebody. You have a trusted friend to actually do your renewals for you. They're very simple. They're very easy to do. You know, to click the box, you get a pay address, you send over the Bitcoin, and you're renewed. No fuss, no muss. Easy to do. Why would you ever give up what the structure that you built down here that's generating 24 Bitcoin a day for you? I can't even imagine somebody doing something like that. They need to be put in an insane asylum for a while. Have somebody talk to them if they think about doing it. At least that's how I feel about it. Income disclosure, we're going to talk about the plans, so we make every effort to ensure that we accurately represent the products and services of GladioCoin and the potential for economic gain. Earnings and or Bitcoin income statements made by the company or members are estimates of what you can possibly receive. There is no guarantee that you will make those levels of Bitcoin and that you accept the risk that the earnings and Bitcoin income statements will differ by individual. It has to, because it depends on what you do. If you come in passive, you're not going to generate the same amount of Bitcoin as somebody who is referring people and cycling every day, every other day, even every week. The examples are not intended to be interpreted as a guarantee, promise, representation, or assurance. We do not purport GladioCoin and or us as being a get-rich-quick scheme, because it's not. That's why. Okay, here's the basic plan right here. This is an entry-level plan. This is designed for the guy who just doesn't have any way of acquiring Bitcoin, hardly at all. He has to come on with 5% of a Bitcoin, but he gets no doubling. There's no passive payment, and he can only receive 5% of the binary team he builds or refers to the program for 90 days. And the reason that plan exists is so that you can get to this plan here, Spartacus 2, which is a 1%, 10% of a Bitcoin. It doubles in 90 days. It receives a 6% binary payment. See, the amount that you have in trading determines the amount of referral fee that you get. So I think the sweetheart plan for our strategy is on the low side. If this is all you can come up with, you come up with a half a Bitcoin. That doubles in 90 days, and you get a 9% binary referral fee. You can earn up to 30 Bitcoin a month. Well, think about that. If you had 3 positions pumping out 30 Bitcoin a month, same thing. Would you think it would change your life? You think it would help you? Think it was worth doing? I can't imagine not doing it. But what you would do to do the triad is you'd put a half a Bitcoin on the top, and then you put a 1/10 of a Bitcoin on each one of the 2 personal referrals that you did underneath you so that you can maintain that structure. And even if you referred nobody, they would still continue to double. And every 90 days, all you'd have to do is renew the account. Not a tough job at all. But these are the sweetheart plans right here. And this is where you want to be if you really want to generate the Bitcoin, because that 15% referral fee on the Spartacus 7 makes a huge, huge difference in your ability to generate the payments of Bitcoin. If you got to start lower, you got to start lower. The fact that you get in is the most important part. Secondary is the level that you come in at. But those of you who are really serious and you want to get moving, this is where you need to come. Start with a 1, 2, or 4. And if you come in with a 4 and you got to have the 3 positions, then you'd have a 2 at the top, Spartacus 6, and then you'd have 2 Spartacus 5s below you, maintaining those positions while you built the referral team to pump out 8 Bitcoin a day in your top spot. Look, that's 8 Bitcoin a day. That's 240 Bitcoin a month. 20, you do it 3 positions, kicking out 8, that's 720 a month. Bitcoin, 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 multiply it, do the math. Look what the conversion possibilities could be. Doesn't matter what country you're in. What does it convert to in your country? What can you sell it for? The reason it has value is because the people say it has value. That's an important point. This is not government owned. You own these Bitcoins when you get them. And that's music to my ears. I don't want to use the fiat system. I don't want to support that banking system. It's going down the tubes. The dollar is worthless already, and they're going to shun it. So we've got to create our own economy, and that's what I'm trying to do here is help you learn a way to create your own economy so we can mimic Venezuela. I don't want to be Venezuela, but you know, they got an economy running down there between the people themselves. They didn't need the government to solve the problems. I'm afraid I don't want any more government involvement. They're already too intrusive as far as I'm concerned, and I think we got enough. So how do you get started? It's pretty easy. All you got to do is choose the plan that's suitable for you. You get a Bitcoin e-wallet opened, one of your choice, blockchain we recommend to start with. Then you choose the plan that's suitable for you. You want one that's suitable. You don't want one that you're having. Don't go out and mortgage the house to do this, all right? You know, you start where you can start. And don't put any more in here than you can afford to lose. I have no crystal balls. I only use the Magic 8 Ball. And so, you know, I hear crystal balls are the best, but I could only afford the Magic 8 Ball. And sometimes it's right and sometimes it's wrong. You know, we just have to see what happens. So the thing I will tell you to do is evaluate the sponsor. Who referred you? Maybe it's nice they referred you, but are they capable of helping you get your blockchain going? Are they capable of helping you get your Bitcoin going? There's a little bit to do here to get started. Once it's in and running, it's just a breeze, no big deal. But just make sure that the person that you're going with is not just intending and putting you a number on the wall and see if you sink or swim. Okay? It's important. We want everybody to succeed. Now, the other thing you need to remember, and I just wanted to let you know, it's a computer, guys. There's nobody sitting there to take your phone. You've got to make sure that you're putting in the right names and the right account numbers, that you're putting in the right amount for the plan that you're choosing. You're doing your upgrades properly. You know, you don't want to overpay on that. Some people do. If you make a mistake, it can't be undone. If you send the money, you can't get it back. So what does that mean? It means a little due diligence and just take care. The writing on the website is important. They don't have anything there you don't need to read. There isn't that much, but you really do need to read it, and it will instruct you and help you with some of the questions. I know people aren't reading it because they ask the very question that if they'd read it, there would be the answer. They'd already know the answer to the question. Okay? So go to the Participants tab on the menu bar, click on it, open it up. When it opens, down at the bottom of the box is a button to raise your hand. Please do. Click on the button, raise the hand, and give us your comments, your insight. You know, if you're already using the program, come on and tell everybody how it's doing for you. They need to hear it. Anyway, Kathy will unmute you as soon as she sees the old hand fly up there.
The old hand. Okay, I don't see any old hands flying up here.
Well, I must have put them to sleep today. Well, there's a couple.
I just want to again welcome all the guests here today, and if you have any questions, please raise your hands or chat in the type box. Type in the chat box if you don't have a microphone. We have Ann Long. How are you today?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
Really well.
Good. You had talked about how the Bitcoin value fluctuates. Would you sort of explain why that happens? You know, it's such huge fluctuations, which doesn't happen, I get, or does it? I don't know.
Yeah, it has large fluctuations. Sometimes it's very quiet, and sometimes it's really popping. It's just market values. It's what willing buyers and willing sellers are doing. That's all. If people are selling into the system right now, then prices are dropping. That's all.
Yeah.
Is
that true of euros and other?
Yes, but not to the same degree.
Okay.
That's good. You want it this way.
That's what creates the daily 2.2. Is that correct?
That's what creates everything.
That's
you may look. If you're going long, you ride the longs, right? If you think it's going to go up, you ride the gains. Put your stops up behind it, so that when it falls, you don't lose anything. Try to keep a minimum 2% stop. If it's going down, and you shorted the stock, you shorted the Bitcoin. What happens is you borrowed the Bitcoin and you sold it at the current market value, and what you're betting on is that you're going to be able to get it at a lower price to return the amount you borrowed and sold. Okay, it's like the neighbor borrowing your car. You got a brand new Cadillac sitting in there. You got a hot buyer for that car. So you go over there and you buy the car with a promise to return it. So you're borrowing it, right? But you sell it instead. Mm-hmm. Now you got to get another car and get it back there in a hurry, right? And you damn well hope the price doesn't go up, because if it goes up, you lose. So what you do is you take a position on each side. You take a position on the long, you take positions on the short, so that they offset each other and allow you some gain in between. Easy deal, right? Not easy at all. That's what the computers do for you. They're programmed to handle this, and they handle thousands of contracts simultaneously. So what we want to see is that high volatility. And then we have the velocity, the speed with which the change occurs. See, the computers can deal with that. Human beings can't do that. There's no way they can watch all these exchanges at the same time like a computer. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
You're quite welcome. Hey, G. She who must be obeyed. Where'd she go? Oh, well.
Sorry, I thought I muted myself. I'm sitting here talking away. Okay. Now we have Jerry. Go ahead, Jerry.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes,
ma'am. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Fantastic. Awesome. Loving life large,
Well, my question is, you mentioned that the Bitcoin is being traded. Is there a place where we can go and see what it looks like on a chart or as it's being done?
Not with Gladiacoin, but you can see the macro stuff. I think you can go on Bitstamp or some of the other places where they have active trading programs going.
Bitstamp?
I think it's Bitstamp. There's a couple. There's a number of sites out there that actually give you charts and graphs and stuff like that. If you're paying for it, I think that you get real-time data, but if you're not paying for it, it's going to lag.
When you say lag, is that like minutes or hours behind?
Well, since I don't spend any time watching this stuff go up and down on a chart, I don't know. Go over there and see what they offer.
Okay, I'll check it out. I kind of like to watch things like that. I'm funny that way.
Okay, well, nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
We have Luke, who has been patiently having his hand up. Go for it, buddy. How you doing today?
Oh, doing pretty well. Yeah, doing pretty well. Yeah. So yesterday was a big day. I got to take my son on a little field trip. Went up to a planetarium and was able to check out there's a dog barking. Actually, that's not mine.
Yeah, that's mine. I'll mute.
It's okay. Yeah, so in the meantime, while I was at the planetarium, I got a little over 3 Bitcoin deposited into my account.
Whoa!
So that was pretty interesting.
Right. I love this. A dad that gets to be home.
That's like my second
take him on field trips and make Bitcoin too.
Oh yeah, and then following that up, I think it's going to be about like a 1.6 or better day today. So I mean, it's just followed up right next to that one. So
that's fun.
It's just fantastic. It's just I got a great team. Everybody's winning. I'm getting new people all the time, And it's just the easiest thing, just to bring people here and let John and Kathy, educate you how it works, and why you should care about this and why you should get involved. And people get involved. I mean, it's incredible, really. It's phenomenal. I think my last count, I think I'm up to 26 Bitcoin so far.
Whoa, that's cool.
It's really cool. Yes, it
that's
is.
in what, about 6 weeks, maybe?
So, yeah, since March 1st. Yeah, so
That's phenomenal. I love it. I love it.
And it's a phenomenal program.
So you
and,
get to
like
eat
I said,
ice
the
cream
team.
tonight.
Yeah, I think so. I actually went to Domino's on my way. I got somebody started locally, and I went to Domino's, and I was going to ask, do you take Bitcoin there?
That's exactly
It
right.
actually was not a pizza. So
Yep.
anyway, but it's a phenomenal program. John and Kathy, thanks for all the support on the webinars and all the help you guys do in the background,
you bet.
behind the scenes, and
Well,
we appreciate it very much.
You guys make it happen. I mean, it's teamwork that makes the dreams work, and we are making a lot of dreams work. Let me tell you, I'm right with you. I'm so blessed to be a part of this, and all of you people. Okay, we have Melita.
Yeah.
She's got her hand
Can
up.
you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. How y'all doing?
Great.
Well,
Good.
No complaints here.
Okay, well, I just want to let you know I'm just starting.
Congratulations.
And I'm looking at everything that wait for it to finish pending,
Mm-hmm.
fine. And I heard you say something, sir, regarding putting in like the stop loss. I understand like stop loss when you're doing like the stock exchange, but how do you put in a 2% stop loss as it pertains to this situation?
well, you don't on this because you're hiring the trader to do that for you.
Okay, because I heard you say it to the lady, and it kind of threw me.
Well, I was just trying to explain how the trading gets accomplished and how they're generating the funds and why we want the thing to move, because she wants to know. See, what a lot of people want is they want something a lot that they want it to stay at the same value all the time.
Right.
People in the United States are used to what's called a stable dollar. In other words, it's always $1 to you. But what they do behind the scenes is they continually devalue the dollar. You don't know that you're losing money. And
Well, that's true. Yes.
And it's a hidden tax. But if you talk to people in other countries that don't have that system going, their currency is full of inflation or deflation at any point in time. Down in Argentina and other countries like that, man, they love this. The fact that it doesn't lock into a certain value every day, that's normal for them down there. There was a time when, not too long ago, maybe 20 years ago, that the women would go get paid every day from the employer because tomorrow it was going to cost more money to buy your hamburger or whatever you were going to get. So that's volatility. That's why.
I noticed something because when my sponsor, Scott, was helping me a few minutes back, I said, oh, wow, it went down, my Bitcoin. And she said, don't worry about that because it's still at the da-da-da-da point that you bought it. And I said, really? And she said, yeah. She said, it doesn't matter what the dollar is looking like. She said, you bought it at that, and if you got that much Bitcoin, you still have it. And so that was very surprising,
Right.
I had noticed that on the conversion part on my phone, when it was converting it from Bit to USD, it was lower than, I said, wow. And she said, no, that you still have the same amount of Bitcoin.
Yep, you sure do.
It doesn't matter what the US dollar was doing. Again, the Bitcoin remained the same.
Right.
So that I found interesting.
And that's good. That's what you want, because you hold on to that Bitcoin and it's just going to get worth more and more and more. You hold on to dollars and you're going to lose them. They're going to get worth less and less and less. And those in the banks are going to be converted into something else. And you guys are not going to like this. We have got to create our own economy using Bitcoin. That's why I'm trying to get everybody to get Bitcoin.
Right. Now, the gentleman before me, I noticed that in one of the YouTube videos, one of them, it showed Whole Foods. So when I went to Whole Foods, I said to the girl, do you take Bitcoin? She didn't know what I was talking about. But then I realized somehow I have to go somewhere, and maybe you can tell me how, to buy the Whole Foods gift card with a Bitcoin. Then I can take the Whole Foods gift card and buy my food.
You know, I can't tell you specifically, but Google knows everything there is to know about everybody. So just go in there and Google gift cards, Bitcoin and gift cards.
Also, are you aware of all of the, you can get a debit card strictly for your BTC, and you can order those from like Uphold and BitPay and, what is it, BitQuick or no, BitPay? And they are like a Visa card, and you just can take them anywhere and use them just like you do a Visa card. Load your Bitcoin onto them.
Okay, so you could. What were those 2 Visa cards, please?
There's Uphold and there's BitPay. I know a lot of our members are using BitPay.
Copay.
I don't understand that first word you're saying. I don't know how to spell that.
Up. Look up. And hold on. Uphold.
Oh, Uphold. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So are those the 2 that you guys use?
I don't use any.
I have a BitPay coming, but a lot of our members are already using those.
Okay. Do they ask for your Social Security number or anything like that?
Yes, they do.
I'm not sure about Uphold, what they ask for.
Uphold will ask for it, but they say they don't do any reporting with it. So
You're right. What about BitPay?
you got that right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yes, BitPay does ask for your...
Let me tell you something. Anything connected with U.S. exchanges, right, is going to be reporting all of your Bitcoin to guess who?
That ABC company that nobody likes.
That's right. But I understand Uphold doesn't report to those ABCs.
I don't trust that. See, because
if they say they don't trust, and this is just something I was thinking about because I was looking at some Visa cards when I was searching around, and I said, if they're asking just to have a unique number, then maybe I should make up a number like 494-22-9292.
Sure.
And let's see what you do.
Well, wait a minute now. You got to remember, because they're probably asking for ID, which is a picture ID, which typically they were trying to make the driver's license your ID. And so then they got a number on the driver's license, right? They got your name and birth date. If they have your name and your birth date, there is an 85% probability they can find you anywhere on the face of the earth.
Absolutely. So the one that you quoted, ma'am, they asked you for your driver's license also?
You're going to have to give KYC to any of these people because it's they're afraid of the guys, even if they're in another country. They're afraid of them. They don't want to mess with it. You know what? Some people in some countries and some banks refuse to do business with what's called a U.S. citizen. They will do business with American nationals, but they won't do business with American citizens.
No, what do you mean by American national?
Well, that's another story for another time.
That's a whole other story.
I'll just tell you this. Just go to a website called Sovereign to Surf, S-E-R-F, Sovereign to Surf, and you can find out anything you want to know.
Okay. Oh, so you're talking about sovereignty.
I'm talking about citizenship.
Okay, I think I know what you're saying. Sovereign, okay.
We are looking forward to a card that's hopefully coming out soon, and it is it's a card that won't ask for KYCs.
Yeah, it's good in all 120 countries.
And hopefully that will be coming out soon. When it does, we'll announce that for you.
Is that coming through Gladiator?
No.
Oh.
No, Gladiator is just a platform that we're using and having much success. As a matter of fact, we renewed a Spartacus 7 yesterday, and this morning we had to renew that same spot again. So once you hit like Spartacus 7, the magic just starts to happen.
Things really begin to happen.
Yeah, they really do. So I'm just walking on a cloud today because that was the coolest thing. We just started receiving that 8 Bitcoin a day. And we've been only doing this since February 9th, so it's really, really worth it.
So you're telling me that once a person hits Spartacus 7 with maybe a couple downline or no downline, you can turn over your money in less than 90 days?
No.
Yeah, if you do the binary. You have to refer.
Right.
And share the love, share the gospel of Gladiacoin, and it happens. It happens. So yeah. If you're just coming on, just keep sharing the love because it really, really is worth it.
Okay.
So, all right, we've had Frank here with his hand up for a while. Thank you, Melita. I hope that helps some.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right, you have a good day. And we will go jump to Frank here.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Frank. Yes, go ahead.
How we doing?
Doing fine.
I didn't tell you guys earlier, but I'm ecstatic. My first position just doubled today, and I'll be upgrading. And
Fantastic.
It's one of 6 already, and I'm just excited about getting to Puerto Rico and launching in Puerto Rico with William. And
Yeah, it sounds like fun.
I want to say anybody that's not in, get in. This is the best thing that's going on right now in any market.
On the planet. I agree.
And it's across the world. And if you look at the maps on where Bitcoin is or Gladiacoin, period, we're just starting. This is ground floor, where you can double your Bitcoins in 90 days. I mean, the banks are horrible. And I just wanted to say this: I'm going to Puerto Rico. The economy in Puerto Rico is horrendous, and there's a lot of people without jobs and looking for a way out. And they're leaving the country. But if we can sustain ourselves with our own economy over there, those people wouldn't leave the island. They love the island, the warm weather.
Yeah.
And
this is a real solution for all those people that are losing their jobs or their pensions, or it's a real solution. So and like you say, they can stay in their own countries and be solvent.
Yeah, I mean the Teachers Association over there they're about to lose their pension. You got teachers over there that've been teaching for 25 plus years.
Oh, that's so sad. So get yourself over there and show them.
Yeah, and that's
show
what
them this program.
I'd like to invite everybody. I posted a flyer in the group page. Anybody that'd like to come out there and enjoy a couple of days in the sun, you guys are welcome to come out there and support Gladiacoin and everybody that's out there.
Okay.
Give your testimony if you're doing excellent with the program, just come on out for a couple of days.
And those of you just getting started, hey, maybe that's a goal for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, or something. Get that Bitcoin rolling in, and we'll go someplace sunny and warm.
This is the first of many events out there. First of many.
All right. Well, congratulations on your first doubling. That's awesome.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Thank you. We'll see you tonight. Okay. Are there any more questions in the house or comments? Or we're kind of running long here, so we've got some appointments coming up. We better get going if everybody's done. And what I will say is we're doing this again at 5 p.m. tonight, Pacific Standard Time, and then tomorrow again at noon and 5 p.m. So please come back, bring your guests back, bring your happy testimonies back, and let's rock this thing. You guys are phenomenal. Thank you for coming. Do you have anything else, John?
No, it's time to go. We got things to do.
Yes, sir. We sure do.
Thanks
so thank you, everybody. We'll see you this evening, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Take care, y'all.